MCSR Ranked is a game mode we all know and love, and it revolves around one thing: speed. You load into a match against a random opponent, survey your surroundings, and try to kill the Ender Dragon as fast as possible, beating the other player. Of course, there's a lot of steps to this, including the overworld, the nether, the blind, and finally, the stronghold. And remember, at each of these steps, you're trying to go as fast as possible. Now, inspired by this guy, and because I hate myself, I decided to lose all my elo and play until I succeeded at the ultimate challenge: win an MCSR game without sprinting. Without further ado, enjoy my pain and suffering as I try to win no sprint against an Emerald 1 player, mind you.
Alan, we are
So when I first loaded into this run, I noticed a pretty immediate problem. The ocean. If you guys don't know, swimming in the ocean while no sprint is pretty terrible, and as you can see, it let my opponent get ahead of me almost immediately. But I am not a quitter. This seed was kind of a necessary evil to me. I thought I would have to do like a major drop from my humble space in gold 3, so I kind of just said, frick it, we ball. I spent the first few minutes of the run getting wood, blocks, and searching for a magma ravine to build my portal at, all while knowing I was behind. Luckily, I was able to quickly spot the ravine, and I headed there. As I slowly sank down into this magma ravine, the absurdity of this challenge set in. How was I meant to win while purposefully going slower? Some people forfeit when they have a setback: an unlucky death, bad rates, missing the stronghold. Why should I even keep going on a shipwreck seed? The answer is this: MCSR Ranked is more than a game. It's a test of perseverance. You don't get better by giving up. You get better by struggling through the highs and the lows. A lot of people get stuck in low ranks and never get better because of the shiny button right here that says forfeit. Luckily, I was doing this at like midnight. I had really loud music blasting, and I was just there for the vibes, honestly. So I kept going. Next, I had to face the Bastion. When I saw this box, I immediately knew it was treasure. There are 4 Bastion types: housing, stables, bridge, and treasure, all with different routes and strategies. For treasure, you do a sort of hourglass run up these stairs, then trade with piglins at the top. This was the scariest split to me because I knew I would need to eventually aggro piglins and then run away from them, without actually sprinting. Somehow, I ended up doing alright, although I had a few scares at the beginning. Okay, looking back, maybe it wasn't as scary as I thought. But listen, having pigs chase you when you don't have any key binded to your sprint is scary, okay? As I was looting the Bastion, I noticed something. My opponent hadn't pulled ahead. This was good news.
This is good news.
Because it meant he had died, but he hadn't FF'd yet. Like many speedrunners, the forfeit button is the bane of my existence. If you've ever played MCSR, there's a huge chance you've loaded into a cracked seed, played perfectly for the first 2 or 3 splits, and are on PV pace, just for your opponent to FF and crush all your dreams. With this realization, I quickly figured out where the fortress was by Pyrang and headed in that direction. Of course, the seed wanted to personally spite me, so there was a gap in the floor, which I pearled into, while holding gravel. But I didn't die. I quickly built back up and started killing blazes, as well as bed bombing to make more space for the mobs to spawn. Of course, it wouldn't be a lab-certified speedrun if I didn't get hit off the spawner by a blaze, but you know, it's fine. I survived, barely. I'm sure this kind of thing hasn't happened before.
To that. Oh right, I have the diamond sword.
I continued to kill blazes, but my opponent had caught up, and at this point, he had blinded. I knew now that if I wanted to win, I needed to lock in. I quickly blinded after him and used an ancient technique called bow tie to locate the stronghold. With my nether cords now ready, I headed to my final destination, but my opponent had already entered the end. It all came down to this: Time was of the essence. I preemptive to find the portal room, got a solid spike, and headed in that direction. I couldn't waste any time. If I got there quick enough, this would come down to a perch race, and if RNG was on my side, I could win. Pause, wait, hold on a second, did I just... Okay, yes, that may have looked stupid, but do you see that subtitle? Silverfish. I knew it was close. I could smell it. It had to be right around this corner. Here I was, in the end, a no sprint sub 20 in sight. I'm still a noob, so I don't know any 0 cycles, but I was confident in my ability to hit the 1 cycle, if the dragon perched in time. I pearled in and set up my obby. Then I quickly crafted 6 or 7 beds and began to shoot crystals. While we wait for the infamous perch, let me tell you a bit about myself. You see, I've been playing MCSR since this past summer, but I'm not very, well, mechanically good. I'm in, bro. Oh. I would just go to like the biggest one, so 50. Okay, I'm gonna go back that way and then go up there. It shouldn't...
Don't do that.
Even so, some of my friends got me into speedrunning, and I've been encouraging some other friends to speedrun, so it's like a domino effect. Under the peer pressure, encouragement of me and my friends, a bunch of people I know have started playing MCSR. So many that I was able to host my own mid-offs. Actually, it's still going, but yeah, watching people who have never tried to speedrun before play MCSR is one of the best things ever. Would recommend. Alright, enough yap. Time for the main event. I pearled in, beds at the ready, and this was the moment of truth. And that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Turns out this challenge was not almost impossible. Yay for me. I started this channel because I love making content, and MCSR has been really fun recently, so I hope you all enjoyed. If you have any ideas for more silly videos / way for me to lose elo, drop it in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one.